And hello to everyone coming on. It's officially 1 o'clock here at the Eastern Seaboard. I'm Allison Lee, your host at CraftCast.com. And today, another Fun at One. We started this, I think it's 11 weeks ago. The very first one, everyone jumped on and we did a first Fun at One just to deal with everyone being at home and wanting to do something to break up the boredom. And guess what? It's stuck. So we're still doing them 11 weeks later here. And I know we're all having fun learning new things. And I want to thank all of you out there for coming on and listening, and all the teachers who come on and share so generously all their information. I know it's a win-win for everyone. Let me go over a few technical things before we start. Yes, this is being recorded. Yes, if for some reason things waver and your Wi-Fi wavers and you lose sound, I'm going to tell you now because you won't hear me if I say it when you lose sound, just log off and log back in. It means your sound wavers. And hello, I got to start saying, you guys are all so sweet typing in. We got Michigan in the house, Texas, Maryland, Louisiana, Colleen in Stockholm. Hi in India. Kathrika comes on from India. Hello, darling. Big hug and kisses to you. I've been talking to my friends over in India, making sure they were all fine after all the terrible weather over there. Illinois, Arizona, Virginia. Hi, Cindy, who's on from Ontario, Alberta, Kentucky. I mean, let's just take a second. It makes me want to cry. We're all on from
All
around the world.
zones.
Yeah, it's so nice.
So
Montreal. Cool. Hello, Montreal, Rita. So it's just truly, for me, a gift that you all come on and we do this. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Kathleen from Kansas. So let me just go over a little bit of everything here. First, let me show you CraftCast because people sometimes wonder, okay, how does it work? I don't want to forget this one too. I'm going to go over Molly in a second. All right. So come over to CraftCast.com. These are just a few of the live classes that are run similar to this that we have coming up, and we're adding new ones every day. I want you all to know that this really helps all these teachers because they lost their in-person income from teaching all of them. So we're trying extra hard to get all these classes up, which we're doing every week, so that teachers have income again from their classes online. They're all freaking fabulous. We have coming up live, this weekend, Julia Ray from England.
I want that one.
I know, is coming on. She's teaching metal clay charms, and they're fun. If you've wanted to try this, or you just want to, metal clay, but you just want to make some fun things, Julia Ray's classes are outrageous and fabulous. And this is more metalsmithing work. Deb Karash, I talked her into coming on and teaching these beautiful metal flowers that she does. Yeah, she is genius with these. Another genius teacher is Sarah Schweder. This is polymer clay that she shows you how to make all these patterns, and it's laying on top of, she did a free a Fun at One with us, and she shows how she carved that underneath there, which you could do and start learning and cover however you wanted to. So fun. Hadar Jacobson, always another genius woman, is going to do 3D metal clay pieces. Totally cool. Cynthia Tinapple from Polymer Clay Daily is doing a necklace. If you're new to polymer clay, even if you're not, it's all fun. I love what she's showing, and these necklaces, great fun. And then I wanted to show you, here is a Fun at One. You can go back to this later. I did with Robert, who's on the line there, where I teach soldering, because you might want to watch that after today's demonstration, because if you want to learn soldering, there's also the full 115 minutes class on everything you want to know about soldering. So just keep that in mind. And then this is a brand new class we just added today. Deb Hart, another friggin' genius with the polymer clay. I'm going to tell you something right now. If you've never done polymer clay, you can make this box. Believe me. She tells you how to do every single thing. She's done bangles with this, an egg, but I believe it at the end when it's done. It's like, wow, I really can do this. She really does a great job doing all of that. And then don't forget that we have a 20% off coupon, a 30% off coupon code that we just extended because we all need to learn more things while we're at home. So just take that, write that down, spring 2020, you get 30% off. So take advantage of that. And Joshua, I see you came on from Massachusetts. Hello. And now, wait, the other thing. Okay. So let me finish doing the homework part before I show you this. Wait, what else do I want to tell you? Okay, so the recordings are available for all the past Fun at Ones as well. Just go over here to the video tutorials where you can buy tons of great classes. You can put into your cart all the free. Just so you know, if you only get the free, you do need an account because you watch them in your own personal library where you get all the PDFs and the handouts. So you do need to make an account, but it doesn't cost anything to make an account. And if you put in something free, you don't put in any charge card information. You just leave for free. It's all fine that way. So there's lots of free things. Besides Fun at Ones, there's all kinds of great. This is a brand new free one. I haven't even advertised it yet. An easy metal clay leaf pendant with Pam East. That's really fun. But there's tons of free things in here as well. So take a look at that. If you go to the front page and you really want to see it by category, just go down here and you can just click to whatever category you're really interested in. Next week, thank you.
It's fabulous.
Next week. Next week coming up is at Fun at One is, I can tell you the next 2 weeks. Coming up is going to be Cindy Pope's coming back on. So if you love your silhouette cutters working with that software, next week, definitely come. Week after that, we're doing resins. Mr. Danzig is going to come on. He's going to have a class in resin. It's not even up yet, but he's going to show you tons of different resins. And then moments ago, I just secured Pam East to also show Magic Gloss because that's getting popularity again with everything on Shrinky Dink material. If you missed Shrinky Dink, go to last week's Fun at One because we had so much fun with Shrinky Dinks. Oh, it's 3 weeks ago.
Julie
That's
Haymaker?
crazy. No, it was Julie Haymaker, but Gail Grossman Moore. She did.
She does amazing stuff.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Alicia Hart last week, she did embossing pewter. I have to show you this and she put together a cute little kit. She shows you how to do this. And if you didn't have the pewter or whatever, there's a link in there. She has the whole kit together with the little tools, $20 the whole kit. You can see there. You get everything. So, I thought that was really great. I showed how to make some fun things with plaster of Paris, just taking weeds and coloring them in. So we have lots of things to keep you very busy. So that's that. Julie, let me take some questions. Can you bake polymer clay in your regular oven? Okay, so Julie, this is what everyone says. Once, I guess, okay, but get an oven that you can really put a thermometer in there, and you just don't want to mix polymer, even though they said it's okay. I'd rather you just have a separate oven personally, just some kind of little toaster oven thing, but one that's big enough that you're not near the burners and that you can put a little thermometer in because that's key to polymer clay. And tell me, guess how I know? Because I burnt it in a small one. That's why. So don't do it. I know Robert just said there's so many talented people here. I know. It's pretty great. Looking forward to Cindy's Silhouette Camp. Oh, yeah. Cindy's doing Silhouette Camp this summer again. Crazy, right? It's like the endless fun we can have here. So there's all of that. And I was going to say, what am I forgetting to do? Okay. Because this is our free one, I just want to, if you have, first of all, I want to thank Cool Tools because they've become a sponsor of these free ones. How great is that? And we love Cool Tools. They are great customer service, which is really important to all of us. They have all kinds of new stuff all the time. They're lovely. So we want to thank them and always check out Cool Tools. The link is in your handout. If you haven't gotten the handout yet, you can just take it right out of the interface. It'll open up in a separate window. You can download it. It'll also be in your library. And here's how the recording works. I like to say 24 hours, but it'll usually go out by later this evening. You'll get an email that says the recording is ready. So you can go back and listen. And if you registered and didn't show up, those people get it too to say the recording is ready. And then you just have to go over to craftcast.com. If you have an account, just put it right in there. The link will be there and purchase for free. And then you can watch. If you don't have an account, it'll say make an account. So you have a library. So that'll be available later on today. But one of the things that I just wanted to bring up that's really important to me, and it might be important to some of you out there, if anyone knows me, they know I'm obsessed with working out. So gyms are closed. So I'm not good without working out. I just am very cranky. Well, Molly Fox, who's an old dear friend, I worked out with her starting in my 20s. I worked out with her for years. She's a well-known person in the fitness world. She started Zoom Fitness. This link is also in your handout. So I happen to have an Apple TV, so I project it up. I mirrored it up to my big TV screen. And I want you to know this is so good that I probably won't go back to joining my gym for a while. I'm really happy working out with Molly. She's genius at being able to do simple, amazing workouts at home. So here's the deal. Right there, join Molly Fox Workout Tribe on Facebook, and you'll get the Zoom information. She's doing it for donations. Here's what I think. She doesn't know I'm going to say this, and I don't care. People are donating. What I did was I just took my monthly payment from my card and I just sent it to her on what does she take? Venmo. But she's the first to say, yeah, you can send it to Molly, but she'll give you all that information. But she's the first to say, you can't afford working out. I don't care. You come here and work out. So I'm just giving you both sides of that. She's genius. We have a blast. It's an hour. She does great. Cool down, the whole thing. So I just wanted to show her off because she's another really special person that she's doing it 5 times a week too. So take advantage of that. She's really great. Let me see here. I'm going to take some questions. Maureen, I see what you're writing there. Good evening to you, Sherry. Hi. You know what, Maureen? Send an email to sally@support@craftcast.com. We do have a class on that, stenciling with metal clay, already in existence if you really want to see. All right, so that's my little plug for Molly, who I adore. And now to get to today's fun time. All right, so just look at this. I saw these and was like, oh, I'd like to wear that right now. And for some reason, the hoops really freaked me out. Like, I just love hoops. I think they're coming back. It's Sheila's like, enough of the commercials. No, Sheila, this is the time for everyone to get sharing information. We have to have some commercials. But we love these. I freaked out when I saw these hoops. So Brenda and Linda said they would come on and show how to do all this. Now, I want to tell all you guys, we have a few videos to show. You don't have to get these tools, but because I'm a tool junkie and I love promoting women who make tools, they also have tools for sale. So I just want you to know both of those things because I think they were really important. All right, so Brenda Schweder is going to go first. You'll see all of her links in the handout for everything, her site, signing up for her newsletter. We have classes of hers with her jig on craftcast.com. It's all in there. But she made up, let me show the hammers first before we start because they're really pretty. That's her. She did this with Fretz Design. Did I say that right? It's Fretz, not Fretz. Yeah, Fretz. Yep. Which I have a lot of Fretz hammers. I don't know if you guys have some of them. They're like jewelry themselves. They're beautiful. So she designed them. Here they are. So you have beautiful hammers as well as steak on the other end that looks like this.
Right.
They're gorgeous. All right. So Brenda's going to show us how she did these leaves. Now, you also have a link in your handout there. You can pre-buy. These are leaf shapes that you can pre-buy from Vintage. And there's a link in there of where to get them if you just want to start with that. Okay, Brenda, it's your turn. I'm going to play your video and you can tell us how to do this.
All right. Well, I'm glad you talked about, well, by the way, hello, everyone. Thanks so much for coming. It's so good to be back with Allison. So these are the hammers. This is my set. They look a little beat up. You can see especially the one on the right there. And some of the paint does chip off, but we need that kind of patina too in our lives. The first one I picked up was really the riveting hammer. The second one is a double cross peen. And the third one over on the right is a double ball peen. So I'm just kind of showing you all the differences. They're actually numbered. There's 1, 2, and 3, and the numbers are on the top. It's a little hard to get that picture in the video there, but I'm just kind of showing you all the differences that we did.
They're beautiful too.
How this sort of happened is that Bill and I ended up being right next to each other at the Beat and Button show a couple of years, and so you know what happens. Get to chatting. So as well as all these cool, there's 3 hammers and of course 2 ends on the tops, but then on the bottoms, we have all of these stakes, which we were just going to put just to differentiate them, different shapes. And Bill, actually his grandson came up with this idea to put the mini stakes at the bottom. So that was genius. And left to right, there's a mushroom stake there, and then there's 2 low dome stakes. And so I just kind of wanted to show you the difference between the hammers, and also just using these vintage blanks, which are genius if you just kind of want to get to know what the hammers are doing, and we just kind of have a nice little partnership with them as well. You can see there that I'm picking up the number 2 crosspeen hammer, and just kind of working to ruffle those sides. And this is actually, I think, called the left wing in the vintage online catalog there. And you can see I'm kind of just moving that. Obviously, this is slow motion, right? So, and then I'm just going to kind of take that other end and kind of make that that midline up the leaf. Just to kind of give it a little bit more shaping.
It's amazing how fast you can get. Look at the difference with just that.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, as you'll see with Linda, she takes a lot more time, but even with just this little sort of primer, you can see what you can get with just, like 20 to 30 blows. So, and then this is just showing you the difference between the ball peens here, the number 3 hammer. So this is the big one. And my favorite end is this little mini ball peen. I don't know of anywhere else you can find this. So this is like my favorite part of my hammers is the other end when I flip it over. And then you're just going to get that sort of that little stippling, that little dimple kind of effect, which is just really sweet. Yeah.
It's a whole art, hammering. I mean, it's a whole nother thing to take your metal pieces and then start adding all these textures and shapes.
Right, right. So
beautiful. And I'm sure they're weighted. I mean, Fritz hammers are beautiful. Working with him was definitely a great choice to do.
Right. I mean, obviously, like we've talked about this before, Allison, you can find hammers anywhere.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
There's all kinds of other beautiful Fritz hammers and
there
stakes.
Are. Yeah.
My deal was that I love this vintage look, and this was inspired by a vintage hammer that a couple of them I got at a flea market, and when I used them on my live broadcast on Brenda Schweder Jewelry and at Facebook, people were like, "Where do you get the hammer?" And so people were looking on eBay and finding the onesie twosies that were left somewhere. And so I said, "Hey, hey, Bill, what do you think of this?" So this is just showing you the number 1 hammer, and this is the riveting hammer. I like that Linda said what she liked about this particular side of this hammer is that the corners, the ridges or the edges of that face are just beveled up a little bit, and so you're not getting those marks, you're getting flattening. So
very pretty.
Just
wanted
to flatten them out.
I showed before Deb Karash's metalsmithing flower class coming up, and she invented a tool because she had all the tools in her studio, but she wanted them all in one block. So, it's fun. And tools are a little bit of an addiction.
It does save you time that way. You pick up, especially if you're doing any kind of work. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So
those look great.
Just obviously
a good start. And that blank is available. And look how that's fabulous so fast. Oh, tell everyone what metal you were using just then.
Oh, those are brass stamps.
Okay.
Just kind of a nice, and they're already annealed, I believe. I think they come 2 to a pack, and the SKU number and the link directly to them is in the notes. So that's pretty darn cool.
Right. Okay, so now I love these. We're going to go through. Brenda will tell us. You tell us, hon.
Yeah, I will tell you. So Linda, these are Linda's hoops, and I couldn't be left out of my own video, so I said I will do these because I know how to do these. But what Linda does is, and I just don't solder. I'm just really more of a cold connection person. And lately, with my found object, I've just been doing a lot of soft connections. So So I'm kind of just showing you where that connection is there. Beautiful Linda work. And these are all done. This sort of linear striated look is accomplished with the cross peen hammer, which is the number 2. The number 1 hammer, the riveting hammer, also has a cross peen end to it. So you have sort of 3 different cross peen ends, and you can kind of play with those. Here I was showing you this. I started with I think like a 16 gauge brass. And I just wanted something beefier, like Linda was using to match what she was doing. So I pulled up my Rio Grande phosphorus bronze, and I went up to a 14 gauge just to get, a little bit more beefiness to it. Here I'm just showing you the different ends, the 3 different cross peen ends, and they really don't make that much difference on a 14 gauge wire. Where you'll see the differences on sheet, and you'll kind of want to experiment with that on your own as well. So I just kind of wanted to show you that. And then here, picking up that 14 gauge, this is just a little bit of a shape I made on my jig tool. Now that's a jig, but since this isn't about that, I just didn't show you that part. So this is actually kind of a design I came up with. It's a charm holder that you can do interchangeable charms on, and you'll see that in the last shot. But this is the number 1 hammer here with the cross peen end. And after doing the shaping, this is already, softer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like half hard brass. And you can see that I'm just, right now I'm just kind of getting it flat
Mm-hmm.
on my, and, turning it over to keep that flatness. And of course, anytime that you're going to strike a piece, it's going to react and fold up and do all kinds of stuff. So you'll see me adjusting all the way through here, but I kind of like to start with a flat piece at the beginning. So here's my way I'm showing, here's the number 2 hammer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was good. I like it.
The 2.
Yeah.
Here's I'm showing, these are the 3 different cross peen ends. You can see the different angles set to them, and I'll show you just the difference even between these 2 that are a little longer. One is a little bit more, I guess, fine and to the point than the other one, which I like. And so I'm just trying to keep this at a cross angle to this, just kind of moving it as I go and just doing some striking. A lot of times when I teach wire classes, people are like, how hard do you, do you strike? Well, it depends on kind of like what effect you want. I started out kind of soft, and I was like looking at Linda's, I'm like, no, she's got a little bit more of a dig into hers. If any of you follow Alexander Calder, you will know that he will use his hammer and flatten things to within the inch of that metal's life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about the effect that you want, the aesthetic you're trying to create, it's just here just keep showing you coming at this form from crossways, getting up into the hooks area here.
And you said that's the number 2, you said, Brenda?
Yep, that's the number 2
I
hammer.
love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that texture it's giving.
Yeah. And what you'll see too is I'll kind of show, I'm just showing you here like the difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, and the hoops are number 2 as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. It's beautiful texture. Star just wrote in, I'm a hammer junkie, so I just had to order the hammer set.
Oh, thank you, Star. Appreciate you. So I grabbed that number 1 back up because what I liked is I was showing you Linda's hoops, and they had a little bit more of a flattenedness to them. So I'm kind of going back in to try to get that effect on these. And also sort of like paddling those ends to get them a little flatter before. What I don't show on here is how to kind of take and just get that the roughness off of those ends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just flattening them down a little bit. So
do you end up filing the ends at all?
I just do. I just usually have a needle file on hand. I'm really not a big finishing type of person. I'm kind of like run your finger across it. Yep, that's not going to cut me or whoever buys this, so I'm good.
Don't
Not a
you
big-
use steel wool? Was it you I learned steel wool from? Are you a steel wool? Yeah, you're the one who
I
I'm
use
like,
that for my steel wire.
yes, I'm like steel wool. Yeah, I learned that from you years ago.
I use tons of steel wool.
I love the finish,
Yeah.
steel wool.
Yeah, me too. And sterling.
A lot of people like just one note about steel wool is that they don't really like the texture, so they'll use like some sort of like a scrubby or some sort of a kitchen tool there too. Or
I hate the mess.
Yeah, yeah. Always try to have a towel on your lap.
Yes, right.
And you
It
can
is
see
messy.
the edges
It is
of my
messy.
bench block. There's little bits of steel wool there. I like it.
I saw that in the camera.
Yeah. You can see my highly polished bench block.
Oh, it's well loved.
Those fine silversmiths are just cringing.
But let me ask you something here. Miss Linda, who's talking in the background, that's Linda Larson we hear as well.
Yes, sorry.
On your hoops there to the right, are those patinaed?
When I work with bronze, I heat patina.
Okay.
So when I finished them and cleaned them all up, and I'll talk about that a little bit on my leaf, I hit them with a torch just to kind of darken them down. And then I use steel wool. I use steel wool to bring up the high points.
I love how that looks.
Yeah.
So,
but you could do the liver of sulfur. I haven't still unpacked mine yet, so I was like, okay, we're just going to show a different look.
Well, mine's always cold. So I prefer a heat patina on bronze. It does a beautiful and it stays forever. It doesn't wear off.
Oh, it does.
Yeah,
okay. It does. Looks great. All right. So now, Brenda, you're just going to you're finishing off your
Yeah, I'm
charm
just,
holder.
kind of just reshaping a little bit and getting that shape that I liked from the beginning. If you do have a jig, then you could kind of throw it back on the setup that you have there. But at this point, you can kind of see it's hardened, and so I'm really kind of having to, really work with those pliers there. But you can also go back and anneal at any time to, to soften and to rework. This, in these videos, we want to show you the fact that, some of these simple things, well, at least my videos, Linda will tell you, hers will need a different technique that you can do, some nice simple things without having to.
This is a great way to start some wire work if you've never done it before too. So, I mean, the leaves and this, I wasn't sure where you were going, but I'm going to show the pictures in a second. And then I'm like, oh, I love what you made. So there in the upper left.
I don't see any soldering.
Right. I was like, I don't see any soldering here, Brenda, when I first saw
Allison,
it. But wait until you see. So obviously, if you're going to make the hoops, you're going to cut it. I'm going to let Linda explain that in 1 second. But look at this. All right. So now that's how she used it. I love this. Yes.
Yeah. So, I am a big fan of charm holders from the 70s, maybe 80s, early 80s, and I think they should be brought back.
Remember all those 1928? I fell in love with all that jewelry when I was a kid.
I love
it. Charm holder. I loved it.
Yeah.
I really do. I love it. And there is the leaf used in another piece. Look at that. How gorgeous.
And what I didn't mention too on those blanks is that you can see how just by working only on one side and really working that middle area, these are flat, but you'll get that texturing and that three-dimensionality, is that a word? By just from the last shot, is the centerpiece will actually sort of create this sort of
little 3D,
Yeah, and it just really
so fun.
As Linda said, you'll take your steel wool or whatever you have for buffing and just really bring up those highlights. So
fun, and that's a fun, easy way to get started, I think, you guys, right? Let's see. Oh, Linda, it probably is your computer and your Wi-Fi if it's very jumpy. It has to be fast. But the video, when you get it in your library, it'll look fine. You can rewatch. Diane just said, bring back charm holders. I'm with you.
Yes,
I think it's so cool.
Bring back charm holders.
I bought one. I bought one recently that someone made at my farmer's market, and it was exactly that. It was really fun. Okay, so Lena wants to know the blue patina. What did you use there, Brenda? Do you remember?
These are all elements that Linda sent me. So she
said,
"I want to try your hammers."
Product called Blue Jacks or Green Jacks, and you can buy it from Metalliferous.
Metalliferous, okay.
Metalliferous.
Who's now owned by Pairwire.
Yeah.
It's owned by who?
Yep. Parawire?
Oh, it is. Oh, by Parawire. Interesting. Okay, so there you go, guys. There's also sophisticated finishes. Lena makes both a blue and a green, very similar to that I've used. They're very good too if you want to do that.
Out there.
Yeah.
Hey, Linda, did you see that little connection point that I did on that leaf for everyone? She did this really cool like little tunnel. And I was like, how am I going to attach this? So I kind of made this little stamen coming down there out of steel wire.
Go, Brenda.
Thanks.
That's what I would have done. I love it.
You guys crack me up. All right, so now it's Linda's turn. First of all, she's going to show us first annealing. So in case you're wondering, we'll do a quick demo on annealing metal. All right, Linda, tell us what you're doing here.
Okay, so the first thing, we're a little bit out of order here today, but this is annealing. I've taken that piece of jeweler's bronze, folded it in half, and hit it with a hammer. I'll show you that in a few minutes. And I'm using the Blazer Big Shot, and it's a stretch to get that piece up to what it should be. If I'm doing a lot of annealing, then I'll pull out my MAP gas, which is MAPP. It's a plumber's tool. You can buy it at Lowe's or Home Depot, wherever. And the thing you want to do, and it kind of shows in the picture, is you want to bring it up to a bright cherry red. It's kind of a glow, and you can see it. If you're working on it, you'll be able to see it, but you want the whole piece glowing cherry red. And that is for a bronze or copper or brass.
Okay.
Don't try that with your sterling or it'll melt down.
Okay, good to know. And that you just said that's butane in that torch you're using right there, right?
I believe is it butane or I was going to look.
I think you said butane. Yeah,
okay.
I think you said butane.
I'll take your word for it. It's like lighter fluid.
Yeah, that's butane. Right. Yeah, we love those kind of. And everyone, I always like to say this: put your glasses on. Put your glasses on. Your safety glasses. Safety glasses.
Be safe out there.
Yeah, and wear clothes that are not a fake. Like if something sparks on you, is cotton. It's always better to wear those kind of fibers when you're doing this kind of work. All right, so now. So are we going backwards, or are you going to show us? Okay, so here's your metal. Okay.
This is an added in, hence the floppy sleeves, because it was a different day. But basically, I took my piece of sheet metal, and that's a 22 gauge. I'm going to, it takes a little muscle, but that's good for our hands. And I'm going to take it and fold it in half. And this is like the simplest form of fold forming. Believe me.
Fold forming, we love that.
I'm hitting it with a rawhide hammer. And the reason I use the rawhide one is it puts fewer marks in it. And the other thing is you don't want to hammer that seam so tight you can't get it to move.
But let me ask you something, Linda. Wouldn't you want to have annealed it first before you folded it?
I don't. That piece I just took out of my box because when you buy it, it's annealed.
Got it.
It would be a little bit softer if I annealed it first, but I don't go through that step.
Okay.
I'm lazy.
But you can, especially for people who have hand issues. You know, we teach,
I have pretty strong hands, and I had to muscle that sucker over. And you can use a pair of pliers. Now, the piece I just picked up has already been annealed.
Okay, got it. Okay.
I didn't think we needed it. And you'll notice I had a rag in my hands. I have those all over my studio because you do not want to take something after I quench it, and especially fold forming because the water stays in that fold. You want to make sure it's dry because you'll ruin your hammers and your bench block.
Got it.
Get pitted from rust.
Yeah.
So now I'm back to the rawhide hammer, and I'm just going to flatten it out. And I kind of flip it back and forth, do both sides. Because I'm not really looking for a giant fold. I just want that crease in there to create the stem.
Interesting.
And that particular pen I'm going to use is called a wet erase. They're a little bit harder to find, but you can find them. And a student turned me on to those. I love them because they don't come off like a dry erase, but you can rinse them off in water.
That's not a Sharpie, is it?
No, it's not a Sharpie. A Sharpie is harder to get off.
Okay.
And I like it because when I'm teaching, I can write all over the student's work and I don't ruin it. They get a little cranky when you ruin it.
What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. So I started using those, and that's all I use in my studio.
And just so everyone knows, that bench block holder, there's a link in it because we all thought people would want to know about that in your handout.
I do like that bench block.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
With me.
We wanted to know, so we decided it should go in the
Yes.
Right. Well, I used to use a bean bag, and this is so much easier. So I just basically just took a pair of shears and cut it out. It's a good idea if you have any snaggy edges to file those. If you have a jeweler's wheel, if you have enough space, a jeweler's wheel, a 3M gray is my favorite tool, my very favorite tool, because I can just zip those edges off and make sure it's smooth. Because I'm going to be handling it a lot. And if you look beyond the bench block, you'll see a chisel. That is something I bought at an antique store. And if I'm having problems getting my piece open, I'll grab that chisel and use it. Yeah, Charles Newton Brain uses a knife, and that just scares me to death.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
You can also use any of the cross peen.
That's true. You could get the cross peen down in there.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that, Linda.
Okay.
Sorry. All right, good. All right, so now we're going to start shaping this baby.
Right. Okay, so next film. So what I have in the bottom of the picture, you'll see that I have the number 2.
Hammer turned upside down. Number 1. Okay.
Number 1 is turned upside down. And is that correct, Brenda?
No, I think it's the number 3 because the rest of the hammers.
Number 1's the one I'm hammering with. The stake I'm using. I've got this. I wrote this all down, but I can't look at the video and read my notes now. Okay, so the stake I'm using is the number 3, and it's got a low dome, but it has a dome. You can't do this on a bench block because metal always will take on the shape of whatever you're hitting it against. And so if you try to use a bench block, you're going to get flat. You're rarely going to get the kind of shape you want. So you'll notice that all the edges are cushiony, and I love that number 1 hammer because it has a rounded edge on I'm not in sync with my pictures, but it has a rounded edge on the face. And then that one has the mushroom. And the ring I have on that picture was done on a mushroom.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that looked great.
Yeah. Wore that one on purpose. So now I'm going to take that piece and I'm going to put it up on the number 3 stake. And all I'm going to do is hammer the entire thing. You can see the little spots. What I want to do is get that look on the entire piece so that it looks hand-hammered, handmade. I don't want any part of, one of my goals when I work is I don't want anything to look machined. And when you take a flat piece of sheet metal, that's what you get. So I'm going to take this piece of rolled sheet metal and make it look hand done.
Now, before we just move on, Star has a great question. She just wants to know, is that like the leather, backside of leather you have on your work area there?
Oh, all my work surfaces have suede on them.
Suede.
It keeps things from rolling. It cuts down on the noise. I use, and you can get it really cheap when you buy those big hides of just the nasty
Great
suede.
idea.
If you go to like Tandy.
Yeah, I buy it from Tandy.
Yeah.
Or you can actually get it at Hobby Lobby with their 40% off coupon. They'll have bags of it there too. So
pieces that big though?
Pretty big. I bought them before I went to Tucson. They were pretty big. I was surprised.
Cool. Nice.
So now I've got, we moved on to the next video. I can't. Okay. So now I've hammered that entire piece and gotten my hammer mark through the whole thing. And more is better. Always hammer, 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 because it takes that machining out of the piece. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm still using the number 3 stake and I'm still using the number 1 hammer flat side. And I'm going to start shaping my leaf so it looks like something I found in the gutter. So it's got, you know how they curl? I was looking at them on my way to Pilates the other day. They were all curled and twisted and that's what I'm doing. So by putting it on the edge, you can see how I'm starting to get it to curve down. There is not a formula to this. You just have to do it until it just becomes, your eye can see where you want it to go and you can do it. And it happens. I've taught this kind of work and it happens. It's just like there's an aha moment when you get it. So what I do, see how I'm getting that kind of to lift a little bit and getting that down. Now I'm going to flip it to the other side so that I can increase those highs and lows to get the shape to it.
That is really cool. All right, let me take some questions while you're doing this.
Okay.
What you have around your stake there, is that metal, correct? Not your cushiony things. Bronwyn wants to know. Okay.
No, on my vise, I have those metal, those are just copper sheets, and I use those so I don't get the grip marks. Those just stay in my vise all the time.
So
that's
there
a good,
we go.
Tip. Yeah, Bill Fretz to do that too, but you'll see.
A lot of people. It's not original with me. I've seen it done a lot of places.
And Lena wants to know, what gauge was that again that you started with this?
22.
22.
That's 22. Yeah.
And then, Brown, and we answered your question, right? That's leather in the background. I think it's not felt.
Yeah, and I actually adapted my workbench for these hammers because what I did is under this vise, I didn't do it. My husband did it because I hate wood. I hate sawdust. I had him cut a hole, and then I just go underneath and push that hammer up through, and that is really sturdy. And it's totally flat surface. I love it that way.
So she's a total MacGyver.
I do it in the middle, but she's very committed to these hammers and stakes.
I'm seriously into hammering everything. So
there's also a movable what is it called again? I forget the name of it. The vise that you can. Yeah, we got a vise link in there too for you guys if you want to check it out. I love that Robert wrote.
I see the picture coming up.
Hammer marks, evidence of the maker's energy, time, and thought. It's true.
Yes, the maker's mark. Thank you, Robert.
True.
I'm with you. I hate anything that looks machined.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're starting the video with the finished piece, and you can see the movement in the piece because of all the hammering I've done. It creates a movement to it. That when you look at it, you feel and see all that movement of those edges and curves. And the nice thing about that fold form in there is it keeps that definition of I'm a leaf. Look at me, I'm a leaf. The whole, I take lessons from a goldsmith, which is very fun because he and I have like opposite brains. And he thinks I'm brilliant and I think he's brilliant. So it's great. But I learned from him. I make my holes now with a ball burr. Much easier. And you don't have to do to hold your space because the ball burr does it for you.
Cool.
And so just a tip.
Sounds like another video.
Yeah. That's a 1 second video. And so I'm in this video, I keep flipping that thing around, but it's actually good because you can see the movement in it.
Oh, absolutely. Right. First, here's a picture of that vise that swivels, so you can put the hammer right in there if you want to do something like that. I mean, come on.
And the link to that is in the handout.
Yeah, it's all in the handout.
What's nice about that one is that, like, I can go around the corner. You can see my messy little Saudi casita there, but this can go on any, any lip like that, or go around the corner. And then the actual head of the vise, there's another, I guess, little lever there that you can tip it, and then this way,
Very cool.
And then the jaws are rubber. So, and I know, Linda, you were a little bit concerned about how sturdy it needed to be, but I thought, I'm going to just try this because I took this picture this morning. Thank God for Allison being so adaptable. And it's really in there. That's
okay.
Pretty hefty.
What's the lingerie?
Robert had these available. I think I got this vise from Robert, as a matter of fact.
Oh, really? Is that true, Robert? You're on there. But wait, I wanted to show, look at this piece. There. Exciting. I love seeing that. This
was
Robert sells them. Robert, you sell that. You sell that.
Get them from Robert. We love Robert.
Robert, give me the link to that. Just throw it in the box, and I'll put the link out there for everyone. Robert Danzig on his shop sells it, which is great. He's got great tools.
This necklace is Brenda. I sent her the leaves, and this is what she did with them.
Right. I think you were inspired by the wire leaves. These are steel wire.
Yes, you sent me wire leaves, and because I wanted to mix them, and so you sent me wire leaves from your jig, and because you have a pattern, and then I took them and bent up your wire leaves. I don't know if you appreciated that, but I did.
I loved it.
And then I did the leaves to sort of fit, kind of the same shape. I shaped them off the wire.
Now let me ask you something, Linda. Patina? I was going to say, what's a patina going on there?
When I work with a lot of jeweler's bronze, and what I do is I pickle it, Then I take a brass brush and I clean it up really, really good. And then I put it over on my fire brick and I gently waft heat. And as you do that, and you know, don't be aggressive, pull the heat off and put it back on. And I gently waft it. And what happens is it brings the zinc to the surface because that alloy is about, I don't know the numbers. I'm terrible with numbers. 90% copper and 10% zinc, something like in that neighborhood.
Bravo.
And so the zinc disappears when you anneal it. It looks just like copper. And so by wafting it with that heat, I just found this by accident. It brings that zinc to the surface and gives it that browny, rich tone that I like. I like it better than copper. And then I don't do a thing to them after that. I don't seal them and that's what I like. And I try not to use chemicals. So it's a really easy, I have all the things to do it and I don't have to deal with any chemicals.
I think that is beautiful. Robert, I just sent everyone the link where you can go send an email to Robert at thefauxbone.com, or he's going to have it on there if you're interested in that
Yay.
advice.
Glad you came, Robert.
Oh, he's got it all down. And Robert said color comes during the cooling, which is interesting. So the chemistry.
Yes, it does change as it cools.
Yeah.
So that's why I said pull away.
Don't be patient.
Be patient. But it works.
I love it. You guys. All right. So wait, let's go back to the beginning here. Look how beautiful. I think this is so great because that color is really exquisite. That looks like an oil painting on that leaf, Linda, is all I can say. And I love the two of them together.
It does kind of on that one.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
does.
different every time. If you want them to all look identical, good luck.
No, don't do that.
Well,
you don't want them to be all identical.
Well, we don't do that then.
Yeah.
No, we don't want them identical.
I mean, it's beautiful. So you guys, I know a lot of you have hammers. If you're interested in more hammers, check them out. Now that's a hammer. Don't you love it? I love it when women can figure out tools and work with someone. And yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Robert. Women, let's support each other.
No, he's already put in there what he's
a woman.
He's a fan.
He's a woman supporter.
Yeah. No, we know he's a big fan. So I love that. You guys have any other questions? Just pop them in there. I think it's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you so much, you guys. What a great.
We should mention that there's a coupon code, right, for the hammers for free shipping.
Yeah.
And what is it? What is the coupon
Hammers
code?
are heavy, people, and shipping is outrageous.
Free ship, free FREESHIP,
free ship.
Free ship, just for today, correct?
Yes.
So people, when you're listening to the recording, yeah. I didn't want to put that in the handout because that's only special because you were here and you're hearing it right now. So there you go, free ship if you want to get those hammers. Yes, Robert is a big supporter for sure. And Bridget just said, we should award Robert an honorary women medal. Thank you. Yes, of course.
He is a man I'm proud to know.
Jan, the free ship is on the Etsy link. If you have the handout, you can see. Here, I'll just open the handout, show everyone right here. I just have one other quick thing to show you before we go. We like to keep these to just an hour. This is your handout, and you'll see right here underneath, it'll say, don't make me wrong, I know. Wait, where did it go? No, it's in here. Oh, here it is. Now that's a hammer set. That's a live link. Just click that and it'll bring you to the Etsy site where you can order. And then you just put free ship there, Jan, for your free shipping. We love free shipping, so thank you for that. And here's everything. You got the vintage, the shapes, all of it, the bench block, the rawhide hammer, sign up for Brenda's newsletter, the soldering class, all kinds of classes that Brenda did. You just look through here.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
And I have something to put into that. I should have told you before. Lena, the ultimate fan, has started a Facebook group called Forging Art Jewelers.
Forging Jewelers, wonderful group.
We post things that we do that we're forging, shaping, anything and anything else, and it's just a place to share what you're doing, and it's been really fun, especially with us all being quarantined. It's been extra fun. So you can always
you have to be you don't have to be invited, but you have to kind of register. Well, not register, but ask to accepted.
Be accepted. So be nice to Lena, and she'll pull you in.
There you go.
That's funny.
Yeah, Jan, just write Brenda an email. I'm sure she'll handle that for you. Someone just ordered it and didn't get to put in free shipping, so.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no problem. We can do that refund.
Yeah. She's like,
Thank
what?
you.
See, they're fast to order.
Yep.
So can you just, to wrap up, what's the name, again, Linda, of that FB group that you just said?
Forging Art Jewelers.
Yeah.
Forging what?
Art. A-R-T.
Okay.
Jewelers.
Okay. I'm trying to type it in right now so I can give it to everyone. Forging Art Jewelers. We love what everyone can find and share on there. I see it. Okay, so here we.
That's a fairly new group too. Thank you.
Oh, very new. It came out of Tucson, so it's really new.
Oh wow, excellent.
So not a ton of people on it yet, but we would love to see what you're doing. I would. I love to see what people are doing. It inspires me and it gets my creative juices going.
If someone can find it out there and put the link in, you can help me out that way because it's
Lena
a little.
Can do it.
Lena, put it in. That'd be great for all of us. And Lena said, "Is your jig on the Etsy site, Brenda? People
It's not.
It's not. Okay.
Almost. It's on sabbatical, so that's another great reason to sign up for my e-blog. Is that's where all the information.
Yeah, the jig's great. She does have
her e-blog is hysterical, by the way.
All right, sign up for that.
I read it just for my morning haha. So
and we all need that. We all need to have. Okay. Wait, Linda, I have another question for you. Can you just go over again, just quickly as we finish up here, what you did for your color finish on top of that leaf? Lisa just wants to know.
So I take the leaf when I'm finished planishing it and I put it in pickle and get it nice and clean. I take a brass brush. I don't put anything on it. I rinse it really, really good and to get the pickle off. And then I brass brush it really hard all over it. And that brings it up to kind of shiny. And then I put it on my my fire brick and I lightly wafting. It's not a torching, it's a wafting of the heat.
I love that.
As you waft that heat over it, keep pulling it back, don't go too far. And then it'll just come to the point where you'll see it start to develop all these interesting colors. I stop. And then what I forgot to say, what I've started doing recently, because I heard somebody say something, I grab it and I put it on my bench block and the bench block will cool it down faster so that it doesn't develop too much more. And like Robert said, some of the development is in the cooling. Being a guy, he could probably give us all the technical issues.
He could.
But I just like the yummy brown color. I'm a girl, you know?
Yep. Hey,
I like and sometimes you'll get like purples and blues and greens even. And so I really like what that does to and it stays. It will stay that way for years. I have stuff that's been packed up for 5 years and I'm pulling it out and it looks the same.
That's great because that doesn't always happen.
You know, you're not gonna get the same look for twice.
Right. So it has a lot of varieties. You can see in those leaves. I made all those leaves within a couple of days of each other, but you can see there's a variety which is much prettier than if they were all identical.
Oh yeah. No question about it.
We got that.
All right, I'm going to show a few more pictures here if you guys have any other questions. I put in the link there, the Facebook box to all of you. And just say one more time, you're going to be making leaves this afternoon, I can tell. She just wanted to know your metal and your gauge again for that.
Okay, 22 gauge, jeweler's bronze.
Jeweler's bronze,
and if anybody needs to contact me, they can contact me through Art Jewelers, the Forging Art Jewelers website group, because I check it all the time. So if you have more questions, I can answer your questions there.
Okay. Free ship, did we spell it right, Patty? The free ship is just FREESHIP. Doesn't seem to be working if that's it. All right, Patty, what I'm going to tell you to do is order, and then Brenda will figure it out.
And I'll refund.
And she'll refund, because sometimes that's a pain. That's not leading you to the group, Paula? That's not good, the Facebook group. Let's just see if I can find it while we're on here. Oh, and Robert said, let's see. Robert said, heat sink when you put it on the metal block. Heat patina can go away if you quench it. Oh, so don't quench it.
Yeah, don't quench. No, he's right. I thank you for bringing that up because I forgot. Don't quench. let it air dry.
Robert's like our
The good thing he's here.
I tell you that all the time. Shoot, Forging Art Jewelers. There it is. Let's see if I can find it.
I was going to look at it too if I could.
Wait, I'm getting it. All right, I'm getting it. I found it. Here's what it looks like, kids.
Yep, that's
Forging
it.
Art Jewelers, and then here
okay, see those pieces? Those are all done the same way as the leaf.
There, I sent it to all you guys. Yeah, those are, okay, so there you go. Oh, you'll get lots of inspiration in here for sure. Oh, we love having our other places to look and be happy. So there you go, everyone. I just put the link in your in that box there. So go ahead and take a look at that. And how have we done it? One more time. We've had another fun hour of learning something new.
We have. Thank you so much, Allison.
I'm loving it.
Love you.
Great.
My pleasure. How much fun is it to learn how to make something new? All right, you guys, don't forget, there's so many things. Just click through on that handout. Don't forget to use this coupon code. It definitely takes it. We've been using it for the past month, 30% off spring 2020 in craftcast.com. If you have any questions about any classes, and no worries, we fix anything, we refund. If there's a problem with the coupon code you forgot, we give you a refund. We like happy people. We want a stress-free site. So go ahead and
I'm going in
do
and buying
that.
a bunch of classes today, just so you know.
Okay, good.
And if anyone, when I'm working at my studio.
Exactly. And if anyone has any questions, we can tell you which classes to do. So to get into that FB group, do they just have to apply? What is it called? You ask or something. Yeah.
I think there's a couple of questions.
Lena's the admin, so she can answer all those questions for you there. But I think you just apply and then she'll approve you.
There you go. Let's see. All right. I think that's all of our questions. Thank you, Cynthia. I can't get into the question. All right. Did you do that? Paula, did you try the new link that I just put in there when I found it? I think that's working, though. But if it's not, send us a question at still having trouble getting to Forging Art Jewelers. I wonder why that is. I got in there with no problem. How can that be, kids?
I think you can just go on Facebook and put it in and it'll come up.
I use that search bar
rather than trying to follow a link.
All right, try that. Forging Art Jewelers.
Right in that search box, right above your.
Exactly, because that's all I did. I didn't do any other magic. If something happens, you still can't find it, send us an email at support@craftcast.com. We'll make sure we can find it in there.
I see the orders coming in. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, you're welcome. It's like so good that people we love that people do all that. Let's see. I think you have to be friends with someone. It's a limited audience. Is that true, Lena?
Oh.
That might be true.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a really close group. We tried to. Remember, Linda, we tried to put that up on the blog, and we couldn't.
Okay, Lena, you can change that if you want.
Let's see. If I
the one that started it.
If I push join group, it says I've already joined. So somewhere along the line, I joined. So, Lena, if you want to open that up for everyone, let's just do that, because obviously you have people who are interested. What do you think there? She's going to check. Lena's going to check. So you guys just wait a little bit before you try to join right there.
I'm friends with it too, so.
Yeah, you can get it through Brenda.
Go to Brenda. You can send her a message and we'll figure it out. Don't worry, we'll get you in. Patty said, the free ship link is working now. So there you go.
And you can find me on Facebook and message me at Linda Anderson with an E-N, Larson with an E-N. I'm really Danish.
Okay. There you go. There you go. You got both our names. All right, we did it. We did it. It's just coming on to 2 o'clock. Another fun hour. Thank you, guys. Make sure and come back next week. We're going to be doing, it's all kinds of, Cindy Pope's incredible. The following week, Robert's going to be doing resins, and also Pam East will be coming on and showing how to do, with Robert, what's it called? Magic glass. So it's going to be a resin day.
That one for sure.
It's going to be Robert. Yeah, it's going to be great. So just keep looking. Make sure you're on the email.
To our computers.
I know they are great.
My workbench.
They're great. You're welcome, Brown. And I love that we finished right exactly on time. You guys, thank you for all your support. Any questions, just send us emails at support@craftcast.com. You can send us over
We're
at
there for you.
CraftCast Facebook page. You can find us, I promise. And you'll be getting an email later on today. I say 24 hours, but it usually is like 6-7 hours with the link for the recording and the handout and all of that goody stuff. So thanks again, everyone. Please stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the stress levels down. Go bake something. It's really good for our stress levels. So thank you, ladies. Thank you for all your brilliance and sharing with us. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Linda.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome. I had a blast.
Good.
Thank you.
You guys are great.
Beautiful, beautiful.
All right, everyone.
Still connected.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.